So what's your secret weapon to staying young?
Secret weapon to staying
Yeah,
young?
This is my side of the story with Esther, and I have Angel here with me, a longtime friend that we've known each other
Yes.
for
it's
like
been
20
a while.
years.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Before either one of us had kids.
Yes, that's
And-
right.
And then I was
we were
pregnant.
Free.
Yeah, we were free. And it was those days where we wore miniskirts.
Yes.
Yeah, and high heels. And right now we're both wearing sneakers.
This is more comfortable now.
So sneaker or heels on a Sunday?
Right now, it's either one. I prefer sneakers, but sometimes I have to go with heels.
Oh, because
Depending on
the
the
job
outfit.
requires it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I was contemplating sandals today, but I thought I'll just go with sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
So we've known each other for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say we are both in our prime years.
Yes.
Our kids have all grown up.
Yes.
My eldest is 18, your eldest is 17,
yeah.
right? So they are in that high school age where we are really
They're growing
hands
up,
off
yes.
right now. So what's your secret weapon to staying young?
Secret weapon to say
Yeah, you still look the same. You still look
You're
young to
the
me.
same too.
So what's your secret weapon?
Well, I think it's how we keep our heart. I think just staying young at heart is one of the things. I really don't do anything. How some people they do all the facial, the 10-step process.
Yeah.
I don't really do that. But it's just I think staying young at heart is one of the things for at least for me. It's just instead of hanging out with the younger ones, I like to hang out with the kids or hang out with our church kids or the youngsters. And it's just fun to be around them because you get to know what's going on and everything.
And in your line of work, you deal with kids a lot and youth.
Yes.
What age group do you work with a lot?
For a while, for like the last maybe 10 some years, I was with children. I was a children's pastor. So I'm always with the, all the young kids and everything. So you're always around them. So you stay young at heart because you're always like playing with them and doing all that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure you live in the public eye a lot because your husband's a pastor and you are leading the kids. So parents are watching you all the time, every weekend. So how do you maintain your authenticity or your vulnerability behind the scenes? Because when you show up, I'm sure people expect a certain angel, right? Angel. They want you to be the angel. But how do you still show forth who you are, especially these days with the young people on social media?
Yeah.
They feel like they have to show up in a specific persona, show up confident even if they're not, show up like they're very capable even if they feel like they're inadequate. So how do you balance that?
I think it's one of the things that you just have to be comfortable in your own skin.
Did you struggle? Did you ever struggle?
I still struggle nowadays sometimes. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I'm the perfect person. I always think there's things I can improve. And I think one of the things is helping, at least for like when I teach my children and everything, it's that you don't have to be perfect in whatever you do. It's okay to fail, but you just have to learn through your failures. And you don't have to be perfect. Be who you are because God created us to be unique in our own ways. And you have to find who you are and live that out, and then, God gave us a lot of skills. God gave us talents and use that, to the best of your ability. And I think, like when I'm interacting with the kids or interacting with the youth or even with adults, it's just really being who you are. The question I get asked most is, do you ever get angry? Because they see me smiling all the time.
Yeah.
Are you ever angry? I was like, yeah, of course.
So what do you do?
When I'm angry?
Yeah.
Oh, usually I'm angry with the children. You see me most angry with the kids. Usually, otherwise, the rest is okay. But, I think it's more of, there are times where, when the kids maybe aren't doing something that I'm expecting. So I do get angry. But after that, I have to kind of go back to see why I'm triggered. Because a lot of times our triggers are things that we have to deal with. And it's things that we're going through. And I think a lot of times it's finding out what your triggers are and dealing with that so that we are better examples. And yeah.
When you get into like a meeting with different people, I'm sure in your life you have to meet with different leaders of different industries or CEOs. People come, they want to meet you or your husband. And in a public setting, Do you get nervous?
Yeah.
So what do you do to overcome your nerves and still show up? What do you do?
I think one of the things is, a long time ago, because I'm never the stage person. I like to be
So
behind
would you
the
say
scenes.
you are kind of introverted?
Yes,
Or more introverted?
I'm very introverted.
Okay.
I like to be behind the scenes. I don't like to be on stage.
Okay.
I don't like to be in front of the cameras. Even for this podcast, I was like, oh no, I was nervous. But I think that's part of life. You get nervous with things, but it's about, a long time ago, somebody told me, it's like, you get butterflies, but you make it fly in formation, So you just have to know, be confident in what you have to say. And, I just feel that after a while, I know that God will use me in a certain way, and just be confident in what I'm about to do, what I'm about to say. And then just to, understand that God uses us in different ways, and he'll use us to be a blessing as long as we allow him to. Mm-hmm. And so it's just to open up our ways to say, God, use me.
Do you struggle with the need to perform because you live in Taiwan?
Uh-huh.
I know you grew up in America,
Yeah.
and a majority of your married life, you are in Taiwan, in the public eye. How is that pressure to perform? Did it affect you?
Okay, I think for me, there's a lot of pressure within myself. So
the pressure is not in comparison with others.
Yes, in comparison, I think I have the pressure that I give myself, that I have to do I have to hit a certain way, like finish it in a certain way, do a certain thing, have a certain image or a certain But after a while, I started out like that. That's where I was. But then nowadays, for me, it's more of just really enjoying what I'm doing. And I think finding enjoyment is more natural, and it's actually less burdensome because you're actually enjoying what you're doing. And it's about the authenticity. I think because when you actually enjoy, you bring out who you really are, what's really inside, and all the things that's part of you. And I think that's what people really want to know. They don't want an image. They don't want a fake you. They want the real you that's actually coming out.
So talking about authenticity, so because you both lead groups,
Mm-hmm.
you and your husband, and you're in the public eye, have you ever fought badly and then you have to go show up in a meeting or an event?
Yeah.
Okay. Me too. That's the worst.
Yeah,
How do you become like a schizo? Like,
I know, like your double personality.
yes,
Right?
you're so upset, and then once you reach the venue, when the door opens, you are this hi. So how do you do it?
Well, I think for me, you kind of have to compartmentalize a little bit, in the sense that, because this is your personal life, where you do get angry, But then I think sometimes the people closer to me, they know that I'm angry. I was like, okay, give me a little time. Let me adjust and then come out, But there are times you just really have to find a way to kind of calm yourself down and I think,
deal with that awkward.
Yeah, that there's
moment.
always that awkward moment, but then I think that awkward moment is also a time where you learn to really know that it's okay to have feelings, but also don't let it influence what we're supposed to be doing, and then the people who are close to you, they can tell.
Yes.
The people who are like, they can't continue, but the people who are close, they know you're handling something right now, and then they see you. And I think it's also a way to help people to know that it's okay to have feelings, but then also how can you not let it actually affect all the things that you have to do, because you can't carry that with you,
Yeah. So my side of the story is it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Especially on Sunday mornings when you're trying to rush out to church and head to the venue on time. And maybe the kids are running late, they're all over the place, and then you end up fighting with your spouse. So it happened to me once. I was so angry I couldn't even talk because we used to live really close to where church was. It was just 5-minute drive. So 5 minutes, you can't resolve a fight, right? Especially when you're so angry. So in those days, I would just keep quiet. Yeah. I would just tell myself, it's okay. I could wait another 2 hours till after the whole event on our way home. Then I'm going to give it to him. So then the day goes by. After 2 hours, you talk to all sorts of people. So throughout the day, you have to show up, right? You smile, you try to be happy, you try to deal with that awkwardness and try to avoid each other's eye contact. And then right after the event, you get into the car, you're trying to head home. But by then, that anger has subsided.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yes.
And a lot of times, you don't even feel like talking about it anymore because you just want to get home, get lunch, get a nap, and that's it. Move on because you're so exhausted.
Yes.
So I realized when I delay dealing with that tension or that tough emotion, I end up resolving it better, right? I could just resolve it in one sentence. Next time, don't do this. Okay? Yes. Okay, let's move on.
Yes.
But if I dealt with it in the 5 minutes, I'll be crying and then my makeup will be melting and then he's upset and then because he has to speak right after, so he's all stressed out. So it's a funny thing that we always teach couples.
Yes,
if you are
it's
living,
true.
Right?
If you actually delay it, because a lot of times if you're in the midst of it, there's so much emotions inside that sometimes you say the wrong things and it's not really what you mean. But when you delay it, and then a lot of times, like you're saying, once you delay it, throughout the whole day, you're still thinking about it, and you're processing what's going on. Why am I doing that? Why was I so upset? And then as you process all that, later on, when you actually talk about it, you're not so angry anymore, where you could actually say what it is that you were angry about, and then, or like handle whatever that problem was. That's so true.
So how do you and your husband manage your marriage life? What are some of those non-negotiables for you guys? Because time is limited, right? You have your ministry, you have work, then you both lead groups, you have your kids, and your own growing up kids, and the leaders that you train. So how do you both manage your marriage life?
I think one of the main things, especially I think Wade does a good job, because his time is actually packed. Every year it's like a year ahead, but it's about scheduling time together. We actually have to schedule time together.
How do you do that? Do you put it in your calendar?
Yes, you got to put it in the calendar, because otherwise everything will eat up the time.
So he'll tell you, hey, I'm gonna book this.
Yeah, well, like maybe like Mondays, let's go out for a Monday lunch.
So it's always fixed?
It's usually fixed.
If he's around.
Yes, it's usually fixed, unless it's emergencies, things have to change. But usually once we set a time, whether it's for vacation or whether it is for a meal or just to have go for movies or something, we have to fix it in schedule it, because it's hard to have like spur of the moment, because usually his time is busy. So we just have to schedule it in and then just really have that one-on-one time together.
Okay. So it's like once a week? How often?
Usually once a week. Yeah. We usually have Mondays. Mondays is like our days.
So when you are spending time together, what do you talk about?
Anything, really. Like we could talk about.
Because you both are working together.
Yes.
And you are parenting together.
Yes.
And you're also in a marriage together, and it's a very unique relationship that a lot of people actually struggle with it because they couldn't switch off.
There's too many aspects to it, right?
Like, when is he your boss? When is he your leader? When is he your husband? When is he the father? Right? So some actually struggle with it. So when you guys are with each other on that scheduled time, what do you talk about? Because people always wonder, there's nothing else to talk about. It's so stressful in those moments. What do we do?
Well,
so what are some of those conversations that you've had?
I think you really have to find things like, okay, besides we'll talk about ministry, we'll talk about kids, but then you have to talk about your likes and dislikes too. It's still always being relevant.
But you see each other every single day.
Yeah, but we see each other every single day. But the thing is, you're not always talking or actually communicating. You're talking about, okay, we got to do this. Hey, we got to go do this. You got to fix this. You got to, there's a lot of surface things, but what's really in the heart, like he'll share with you, okay, what's your dreams? I really want to go somewhere. Like, is there something we really want to do? What we want to do when we get older? What is, our plans when we get older? Where do you want to visit? Or where do you want to, where do you want to be? It really, sometimes it's like, it's not like a very detailed, but it's just that constant communication, constant sharing of what's on our hearts. And I think when you share what's on your heart, the likes, the dislikes, what's, getting you upset, what's making you happy. It's all the little things that kind of combine together.
One of the things I find helpful for me, because I work with my husband, we share the kids, we share a home, we have a marriage together, so we're constantly together. if I don't find new experiences or learn new stuff or expose myself to different things,
Yeah.
sometimes the conversation can get complacent.
It kind of
right?
stays at that.
Yeah, or stale. So we strive to do new things together. So lately, our latest craze is this zone 2 running.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what is zone 2 running. So we tried it this morning. So zone 2 running, basically it's you have to run at a pace where you can still chit chat with each other, and your heart rate is
You keep it at a
low,
certain level,
right?
Okay.
So we decided to push it for 2 hours. So imagine slow run for 2 hours at 6:30 a.m. this morning. Towards the end, I was losing it. But through that new experience together, then you end up talking about it, right? Or telling each other that experience. And because we experience it together,
Yes.
versus if he ran and I didn't, I lived my own life, it's quite hard sometimes to get that mutual understanding.
Yeah. That's
I think
important.
there's a difference between having independence and having that time together to do things that
Yes.
is fun to grow.
Yeah.
Right. And I find as a growing woman, I wouldn't say aging woman, we are both in our 40s, right?
Yes.
Do you find yourself being calmer compared to in your 30s or your 20s?
Yes.
Right? For 20s, we are striving, right? We're constantly comparing, compare ourselves to our peers. And then 30s, we are struggling with life, just running around with kids. And then in our 40s, we are kind of learning to be at peace with who we are.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice to someone younger, right? Whether male or female in their 20s? What are some of the things that you've learned that you wish you knew back then? What would you tell your younger self?
Really just liking who you are.
How do they like who they... So do they have to know who they are first?
Well, just appreciate what you have. I mean, I think like at least for me, before I felt like I had to be someone else. Like you're always striving to what's the most popular. Oh no, it's not really exactly who. It's what was popular during that time.
Okay.
Like maybe like when you're when I was younger, there was a lot of I don't know. It's just it's what that popularity thing. You got to go with the trend.
Yeah.
You got to you're always trying to catch up and follow whatever was popular. But then nowadays, we're at age of like I don't care for that anymore. It's just really enjoying who you are and what the gifts that you have, because I think we all have giftings, we all have our skills and uniqueness. If we could actually appreciate that and use that to really help people, I think we
what
find
if
more
someone
joy.
thinks like, oh, but it's good you both are where you are at right now, but where I am, I just don't know who I am. I don't think I have skills. So what would be a starting point for
find something you enjoy and try it out.
Okay.
And that would build your skills, and that would also build things that you probably never thought you could have done. A lot of times I think when I was younger, I never really tried to build things. It was just I try this and try that, but I was never good at one thing. And I feel that if you find something you like, try to be good at it. And when you're good at it, it will bring out even more things that comes from that, and then continue build on that as you go, and then you'll find certain things that come from that.
Yeah, I think that's true, because as you keep doing the same thing, you might face problems, struggles, difficulties. You get sick of it, but that actually grooms your character, and through that, I think you kind of discover who you are.
Yeah, that discipline, you'll find a difference in that. If you could just discipline yourself to continue doing something instead of just dropping it and giving it up, you discipline, and that, like you said, it'll groom you, because every time you overcome something that you felt was hard, that actually makes you a better in your character. There's a resilience that comes from that. Yeah.
What was the lowest point of your life?
The lowest point of my life, I think for me, it was taking care of my kids. I didn't feel like I was doing a good job. And so because I think for me it was balancing, being the mother, being the pastor, being the wife, being everything, and then having everything.
And people were watching how you parent.
Yes.
Are you
yes.
conscious of that?
I was very conscious of it, but of course, I don't think they said a lot. We have really good people that they don't really say that much. But for me, I was just very adamant of how I should be doing things, and I think there was a certain stage where I felt that I wasn't doing a good job as a mother, and that there, because people always compare, like there's are your kids doing this or your kids doing that? And my kids don't do anything. I don't put them through all these things, but I just feel I want them to grow up happy, knowing who they are, instead of always having to strive for who they're supposed to be. And it was just that. But then there was just I had a lot of voices telling me, that it was my own voices that, you're not doing this enough. You're not, if as a pastor, I'm not doing enough as a pastor. I'm not doing enough as a mother. I'm not doing enough as a wife. And then after a while, I felt there was a point where I just felt like I wasn't doing well in anything. But I don't think that was the truth. That was just the voices in my head telling me these things.
So how did you overcome it? Like, because I think negative thinking, thinking you're not good enough, you're comparing yourself to different things, it affects every one of us.
Yeah.
It affects me too.
Yeah.
And they said after pandemic, people are becoming overthinkers.
Yeah.
Right? They think a lot because they're so fearful about the future. So when you are in that, how did you overcome it?
I had to really focus on something else. One thing was to stop myself from thinking that. I had to really change that thought process to, really, for me, it was just really telling myself, all the promises that God had given me, all the things that, He was telling me, all, whether, I could, it wasn't about all the negative things that I couldn't do. It's all the things, what can I do? And then also to start helping people. I think for me, the more I help people to achieve their goals, the more I saw what I can do for myself. And I think it's really changing that focus of self into, the greater good in what we were all doing. And I felt that as I was helping others, I felt there was, there was 价值 also value in what I was doing and all the things that I was trying to accomplish. And as I think as I did that, God showed me that there was things that I was doing that I wasn't giving credit for myself. And then when you continue on, I felt that seeing the kids and how they were growing up as the time went by, that it wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was. Because I think sometimes we expect too much from ourselves as well, that we don't give value to the things that we are doing. And, relying on, instead of my own opinions of things, is really seeing how I had to change my perspective to how God was seeing me. I had to really intentionally think, okay, what would God say with me doing this? In His perspective, in His eyes. And I think that changed me in a sense. For that part.
I think that's amazing because I recently heard a podcast. Someone said the same thing too. They said a lot of times when people are trying to ask, what's my purpose? What should I do? Like, what should I not do? They always think in terms of maybe what they're good at, their strengths or whatever it is. But like what you said, it should be when you're focusing on where can I contribute. I think it builds momentum in life because where you can contribute keeps changing. Right? In your 20s, where you could contribute versus your 30s versus your 40s, it's all different season. And that's where growth happens. Do your kids tell you off these days?
Oh, yeah. They do.
What's the worst they have said to you?
What's the worst that they have said to me? What is the worst that I've said to me? I don't think they do say that much bad things, but more in terms of it's just they get angry, they don't speak.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
They're angry
much
with you.
Yes, maybe because I asked them to do something or like I restricted them from doing something. They're like, no, I don't want to, and they just don't talk. My kids, I don't feel that they say bad things, but it's more of the anger that they have, but it affects me because you're like, I want them to be all good, but
I tried to talk to my teenager once over certain things. He said this to me: stop talking to me like a coach.
Oh, really?
Oh my, yeah, because I was asking him the
Yeah.
right questions. So what do you think should have happened? Right. So what did you learn from this? Right. So, and then he was like, stop talking to me like a coach. I know what you're going to, I know what you're trying to do. So that was harsh, but
Right.
I guess it hit me differently.
There's truth
that-
in what they speak
yeah.
sometimes to reveal what we
Yeah. So, but in my
really
mind, the back of my mind, if you want me to talk to you like a mom, I'm just going to tell you off and yell at you. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe he prefers that, but yeah, I think life just brings us through different seasons. I feel when he was younger, I could contribute a lot more to him. With where he's at right now, 18.
Yes.
He's like becoming my friend.
Yes,
Right? I
yes.
learned so much from him. My contribution shifts to somewhere else. So I guess in life, in every season that we go through, if we focus on others,
Yes.
right? Focus on helping, serving,
Yes.
being that impact for somebody else. I think it gives us greater joy and purpose.
Yes. I think it really is. Finding our purpose more is easier when we're actually helping others. I think just by, like you said, with the kids and everything. I remember when they were younger, I would always talk to them. I try to find time to talk to each one individually so that
Yeah.
they had their own time. And then I think one of the best things that I enjoyed was one time, like one of my sons, he was kind of struggling, he was having a bad day. And then like at nighttime, I would usually talk to him at nighttime, and he was like, Mom, can you just encourage me like how you usually encourage me when I was young? Because I was always telling how God made him, how he's special, and then how he could do amazing. It doesn't matter what your grades are, and it's really, can you just talk to me? I need to be encouraged, And I like that when they receive something and they know that it was something that was helpful for them. And then the more I do that, it actually also let me know that that they've received how the things that I was talking to them. One time I was supposed to be speaking to a youth group, right? And then so I went to my son. I was like, they want to know how good parenting is. So tell me, what did I do? I was trying to find, what did I do that you felt was good? And I was trying to talk to him. I was like, how would you, talk to people? What good parent means? What do you think? I did well in, what did I do bad in? He was like, oh, you did pretty well overall. I was like, oh, But I think it's just one of those things that kids actually don't expect that much. They just want you to be you, and being who you are, and they know that you're not perfect. But as long as they know that you love them, you care for them, you take, you show them your real self and how you grow. And that's what he was saying, that he knows I'm not perfect. I have my anger days, but then being able to be there, and now he's able to help others as well. I think it's just being available and being helpful. And then when you do that and help others, being available for whatever it is that they need, you find yourself through that process as well. So it's just...
So last question for today is, what's next for you? So we've talked a lot about the past, the present, but I feel people rarely talk about future that much, right? People always relive the past. They talk about their emotional trauma. They talk about their upbringing. They talk about their current struggles. But what is the future for you, right? So how do you start dreaming of who you want to be, what you want to do? What's that journey like for you?
I think you're always searching, because you never know what's next. I think I'm open to whatever it is that I need to do. I know that I feel that God has given me things where I could talk to people, where I could touch their hearts. But also I feel that, as time goes on, because, I think I was, like I said, I was with the youth, and I was with children's, and now children's we've handed it to one of our workers, and then some supposed to be doing more of the adults. So it's finding out what I can do to be able to be of impact and of influence. And I think that's this journey that I feel that I'm on right now, is what do I do to really have the most impact, and finding where I can be to have the most impact. Because I think, for me and for my husband, we're very different people. The way he impacts people and the way I can impact people is quite different. But it's finding what I can do. And I think for me, that's a journey that, you really have to figure out what God wants you to do. And sometimes what He wants us to do isn't always our strength.
Yeah.
You know, you have to kind of overcome your own insecurities to step into something else that might not be what you've been doing, but it's where He's taking you. And it's always been open for that. And I think
sometimes people get very comfortable feeling unhappy.
Yeah.
Right? That you're so used to it.
You're just in that place. Yeah.
Unhappy. And recently my husband I think he tried to use this story to encourage me. He said, do you know KFC, Dior, and all these some of different brands, I cannot remember what he said. They all started those companies in their 40s or 50s. And this is where we are at.
Yes.
So, and I was greatly encouraged because that is the age that we're at.
Yeah.
Or anybody listening to this episode and you're much younger or you're much older, age shouldn't limit us from dreaming, right? Pursuing the next thing, from growing, figuring out. All you need to do is you got to sort out your insecurities, right? Your fear of opinion of others, your need for approval. But these takes years to learn.
Yes,
I learned it the hard way. You learned it the hard way, and I hope those of you listening to this episode, it encourages you on this journey to just pursue the best of yourself. Yeah. Thank you for spending a good 30 minutes talking to me.
It was wonderful. It was great.
It's been a great friendship. I appreciate your friendship.
Oh, I love being with you.
One day maybe we can wear miniskirts again, but maybe,
I don't know about that.
Not. Thank you for listening. If you like this episode, share it with somebody. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode.
Yes.
Nap or no nap?
Sometimes nap, yes.
Sometimes nap?
Yes, sometimes nap.
I need my naps. Sunday naps are the best.
Because right after everything, right?
Right after everything,
just
you get
cool
home,
off and
2 hours of nap.